Picture a half-lit Home Depot parking lot in Paramount at 3 o'clock on a Friday morning. A Black Hawk helicopter pulses overhead, its searchlight turning forklifts into eerie silhouettes, while ICE agents in desert tan armor herd pantry workers into buses with welded metal windows. A teenage daughter pushes through the police tape screaming, "Dejan-lo! Let him go," until she's yanked back, sobbing, by her neighbors. Within hours, Hasiugai storm LA trends worldwide, and Donald Trump fires off a Truth Social post, promising troops everywhere, no masks, no excuses.
President Donald Trump is now sending about 700 Marines to the area. Let's go to CBS News correspondent Danya Backus.
By sunset, 2,000 National Guard soldiers rumble down Alameda Street in riot vans, their tires popping sparks against the asphalt, as protesters lock arms and scream, "The people united will never be deported." California and Washington have been circling each other since 2018, when the Golden State passed the Values Act, SB 54, a law that forbids most local police from turning immigrants over to ICE. Federal agents can still operate on their own, but they hate flying solo. Without county jails handing people over, raids are costlier and riskier. That standoff hardened after Trump's return to the White House in January 2025. On day 12, he signed an executive order directing ICE to neutralize sanctuary jurisdictions. And in the spring, Kern, Riverside, and 12 other counties quietly restarted or expanded 287 G-jail deputation contracts, giving sheriffs the legal right to call ICE the moment someone enters the booking cage. The data tell the other half of the story. ICE's own dashboard shows removals rocketing to 271,484 in fiscal 2024, a 6-year high, and internal memos brag that California contributed nearly 1 in every 5 deportations. Agents complained they were still leaving bodies on the table because of SB 54's roadblocks. Trump, hunting a headline, found the perfect stage, Southern California, where hard numbers meet Hollywood cameras. On June 6th at exactly 4:02, ICE's enforcement and removal operations kicked off End Run, a fusion center plan that read like a military campaign order. Black SUVs peeled from a staging yard in South Gate and fanned across Los Angeles County. Chinatown, Echo Park, Compton, Van Nuys. Drone feeds flowed to a mobile command trailer near Union Station, where analysts watched infrared silhouettes flash across monitors and radioed ground teams when targets stepped outside their apartments. 44 people were in plasticuffs by lunchtime. ICE claimed each had a final deportation order or was a recent border crosser. But community advocates quickly produced affidavits showing that at least 9 detainees had lived in LA more than a decade, some with US citizen children, and no criminal record beyond a lapsed visa. Videos shot on shaky phones turned the raid into visceral theatre.
All these other people have to look for a better life. I can see the shame in your face. I see the shame in you. Go tell your mama how you proud.
In Boyle Heights, neighbors formed a human chain around a transport van, chanting "Sin papeles, sin miedo," until LAPD skirmish lines broke them apart with pepper ball volleys that left the asphalt smeared red and white. TikTok clips racked up 10 million views before breakfast, pushing the story from local breaking news to national crisis.
Chaos erupts here in LA County. Widespread immigration raids triggering protests from Paramount to downtown.
You are seeing protests erupting in the Los Angeles area tonight as law enforcement squares off with crowds protesting immigration raids in the city.
By evening, thousands of marchers flowed out of MacArthur Park toward the Metropolitan Detention Center, banging pots, waving Mexican flags, and hurling fistfuls of sage ash, meant to cleanse evil spirits. The LAPD declared an unlawful assembly at dusk. Moments later, a mortar-style firework burst over the freeway, showering the convoy of ICE buses in pink sparks.
A far different scene over the weekend. Protesters setting up fireworks right there, police officers right nearby. A line of self-driving vehicles set on fire.
Tear gas canisters arced back through the smoke like comets, and live streamers begged viewers for vinegar, milk, anything to soothe burning eyes. Watching the chaos on cable split screens, Trump signed a Title X memorandum, activating 2,000 National Guard soldiers for a 60-day mission to restore federal order. Governor Gavin Newsom called it Little Rock in Reverse, invoking 1957 when Eisenhower sent soldiers to enforce civil rights law. Now, Newsom argued, troops were being used to suppress it.
Where's your decency, Mr. President? Stop. Rescind this order. It's illegal and unconstitutional. And I said it. I'll say it again. It's immoral.
National Guard Humvees rolled in by dawn Sunday, forming armoured walls outside Union Station and the detention centre. Protesters set a Tesla robo-taxi ablaze on the 101 freeway, its lithium battery hissing blue flames, while a guard loudspeaker blared, "Disperse immediately or face arrest." From the White House briefing room, Press Secretary Kimberly Guilfoyle accused radical Dems of turning Los Angeles into a safe haven war zone. She waved a placard claiming 62% of ICE arrestees had criminal histories, glossing over the fact that in Friday's sweep, not one public report listed a violent felony. On stage in Phoenix that night, Trump worked the crowd like a prize fighter. "If California won't police its streets, I will. Sanctuary is over." Pollsters tracking real-time sentiment saw his approval among core MAGA voters jump 6 points in 48 hours. Yet, a Reuters or Ipsos flash poll showed 58% of independents opposed using troops against protesters, underscoring the peril of campaign theatre bleeding into governance. Inside ICE's LA field office, morale is sky high, but nerves are raw. Agents complain their tactical gear is aging faster than their overtime checks arrive. And whistleblowers tell reporters the "troops everywhere" boast has sparked threats against their families. DHS officials, off the record, admit the West Wing wants daily arrest numbers on the Resolute desk, evidence for rally speeches, even as legal teams brace for a constitutional fight over commandeering state resources. Strip away the politics, and the statistics still stagger. ICE removals in fiscal 2024 hit 271,484, almost double the pandemic-era lows, and eclipsing every year since 2015. Quarter-over-quarter growth reached 69% last spring, and early fiscal 2025 figures suggest the agency is now averaging roughly 800 removals per day, a rate civil rights groups call industrial deportation. California, despite its sanctuary laws, remains the second largest contributor to those numbers, thanks to the Central Valley's agricultural audits and to jail transfers in counties that opted back into 287G. The state may fight on the courthouse steps, but numbers inside the ICE database tell a colder truth. The machine is humming. Ask Maria Luna what those numbers feel like. Her husband, Ernesto, a tire shop supervisor in South LA, was scooped up Friday on his way to open the store. He phoned her once from an unknown number. 30 seconds of rushed Spanish, a muffled "te amo," before the line died. Their 6-year-old daughter now refuses to sleep unless the hallway light stays on. She's convinced Los Soldados will come back. At All Saints Church, volunteers fold cots in the basement and rehearse Know Your Rights skits in Mandarin, Tagalog, and Mixtec. Legal aid hotlines crash nightly, overwhelmed by frantic calls asking how to post bond that doesn't exist. Even people with US passports whisper about driving alone at night, afraid a busted taillight might spiral into an ICE check gone wrong. So what happens next? A federal judge in the Ninth Circuit could issue a temporary restraining order blocking Trump's Guard deployment within days. Sacramento's emergency bill package would turn every K-12 campus, hospital, and homeless shelter into a legally protected, sensitive location, daring the Justice Department to sue. ICE officials hint End Run will expand east into the Inland Empire and south to Orange County before the month is out. And Trump, already teasing a second wave of troops, has found a new applause line. We're taking back California, one arrest at a time.
Well, we're going to have troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country. We're not going to let our country be torn apart like it was under Biden.
In this battle, law, politics, and humanity collide.
But you come after poor kids, you come after families, we will do everything in our power to stand up and stand in your way.
And whatever side you stand on, no one walks away untouched. If you're in California and fear a raid, call the Rapid Response Network at 1-844-878-7801. Remember, you have the right to remain silent, to refuse a warrantless search, and to speak to an attorney before signing anything. Stay alert, stay connected, and stay human, because in times like these, dignity is a form of resistance.